Good day, St. Maarten. I'm Yesenia Lassaro.
And I'm also
And welcome to another edition of St. Maarten News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We bring the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
It's Monday, it's the beginning of the week. But first, let's begin with these top headlines.
Two arrested after fatal shooting in Saba. Authorities on Saba are investigating a deadly shooting that took place Friday night in the village of Hell's Gate. Police say they were called to Upper Mountain Road around 9 p.m., where they found local fireman Sheldon Johnson suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital but later died of his injuries. Johnson would have turned 33 next week. Two suspects were arrested roughly an hour later in connection with the killing. Their identities have not been released, and investigators are still determining a motive. Reporters suggest Johnson and the suspected shooter may have been on opposing sides of a public brawl earlier this year, but police have not confirmed any link between that incident and Friday's attack. Officials have urged anyone with information to contact the Caribbean Netherlands Police Force via 911 or its anonymous tip line 9310. Meanwhile, the Saba government asked late-night businesses to close early Friday evening as a precaution while officers secured the area.
Justice Ministers strengthen cooperation on detention and forensic care. The four justice ministers of the kingdom met in The Hague this week, reaching fresh agreements on detention support and forensic care across the Dutch Caribbean. Aruba's Justice Minister Arthur Dowers, chairing the judicial four-country consultation, said the arrangements ensure countries can lean on each other when resources run out. Curaçao and the Netherlands will work together on training staff in detention facilities and clinics treating forensic patients, with Dutch funding pledged for the program. St. Maarten and Aruba focus on tackling staffing challenges in prisons. Aruba offered to send personnel to St. Maarten when needed, and St. Maarten's Minister, the Honorable Natalie Tacklin, expressed hope that her country will provide similar support once its new prison opens in 2028. The biannual JVO also addressed rising gun violence, organized crime, migration, and data protection. Dutch caretaker Minister Fort van Oosten acknowledged widespread staff shortages in justice sectors but praised the growing cooperation and mutual understanding among partners. Ministers agreed to revisit the issue of subversive crime at a strategic session in St. Maarten early next year. They also formally ended an outdated guardianship rule affecting children moving from the islands to the Netherlands.
St. Maarten sees solid growth in air and cruise arrivals. St. Maarten's tourism sector showed strong gains in the second quarter of 2025. According to the Department of Statistics, 209,876 passengers arrived at Princess Juliana International Airport between April and June, a 16.9% jump compared to the same period last year. The figures exclude local residents, transits, and transfers, reflecting more accurate visitor data. Cruise arrivals also rose, with 236,391 passengers docking in Phillipsburg during the same quarter. That's up 14% from quarter 2 of 2024, underscoring the island's popularity as a major Caribbean port of call. Officials say both trends point to a healthy, growing tourism industry. Improved tracking methods for airport arrivals, alongside steady demand in the cruise market, suggests St. Maarten remains a top choice for travelers by air and sea alike. When St. Maarten became a country in 2010, the promise was progress. But 15 years later, some say we've fallen short. After the break, NewsDesk looks at whether Autonomy has truly delivered.
A new day begins. The sun rises over St. Maarten, bringing new energy, new possibilities. This island was built on resilience, progress, and the strength of its people. Our connection is what moves us forward. It links our communities, our businesses, our families. From the heart of the island to the shores beyond, we've connected St. Maarten. From every street to every home, this network was built for St. Maarten by St. Maarten hands. Connection isn't just about signals, it's about people. This is your island and your network recharged. Proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
Mizzy with a Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Maarten, bringing you all the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us. Don't forget to follow NewsDesk on Facebook for your daily Sunshine Report. So as you enjoy the rest of your day, stay safe, stay friendly, Sunshine City.
It's hurricane season. Are you prepared? Here are a few tips to remember to help keep you and your family safe. If you're not in an area that is advised to evacuate and you decide to stay in your home, plan for adequate supplies in case you lose power and water for several days and you're not able to leave due to flooding or blocked roads. This hurricane season, make a family emergency communication plan. This public service announcement was brought to you by the government of Sint Maarten. The Ministry of Autonomy, Department of Infrastructure Management, together with the Police Department KPSM, is making changes to traffic on a section of Canagita Street and Manzanella Stake, Phillipsburg. The Canagita Street from the intersection with Percy LaBega Street to Manzanella Stake will now be a one-way street. Inbound traffic can enter Canagita Street from Percy LaBega Street and drive straight ahead or turn left into Manzanella Stake. Outbound traffic leaving town on Canagita Street must make a right turn onto Manzanella Stake. Entry further into the Canagita Street will no longer be permitted. Outbound traffic exiting Manzanella Stake onto Walton Nisbet Road can either make a right or left-hand turn. The Ministry of Autonomy, Department of Infrastructure Management, and the Police Department would like to thank the public for their attention to this change. Please follow the new traffic rules and signage and drive safely.
St. Maarten marks Week Against Food Waste. This week, St. Maarten joins the global Week Against Food Waste. The Freegan Food Foundation is highlighting one of the biggest contributors to waste: confusion over expiration labels. Best before dates indicate quality, meaning food may lose texture or flavor but remain safe to eat, while use by dates relate to safety, especially for fresh meat, fish, and dairy. On an island like Sint Maarten, where most food is imported, reducing waste saves money, lowers environmental impact, and makes more food available to families in need. The foundation urges people to store food properly, use their senses to assess freshness, get creative with leftovers, and share surplus food whenever possible. Managing Director DJ Jansen reminds everyone that every discarded meal represents wasted resources, from production to transportation. By making small, mindful changes in our kitchens, the community can significantly reduce food waste and protect the island's food supply.
Wescot-Williams pushes Caribbean priorities at PARLATINO. Sint Maarten's President of Parliament, Sarah Wescot-Williams, joined regional leaders in Panama last week to highlight issues facing the Caribbean within the wider Latin American agenda. On September 11th, she attended a working session hosted by PARLATINO President Rolando González Patricio, alongside her counterparts from Aruba and Curaçao. The group agreed that Caribbean's needs, often overshadowed by broader themes, should have a stronger place in PARLATINO's programs. Key priorities identified included climate change, sustainable energy, food security, health, and education. The leaders proposed creating a temporary committee to focus on these areas, with Curaçao set to host a first meeting in 2026. The following day, Wescot-Williams also observed PARLATINO's daily board meeting, reaffirming Sint Maarten's role as an active voice for Caribbean concerns within the regional parliament.
Bureau of Telecommunications and Post Sint Maarten has launched a school stamp design competition ahead of the island's hosting of the Strategic Postal Business Meeting in November. The contest invites grade 5 and grade 6 students from all public and private primary schools to create a commemorative stamp celebrating Sint Maarten's culture, heritage, people, or natural beauty. The winning artwork will be issued as an official postal stamp in 2026. BTP's interim director, Julianne LaBega-Hoover, said the initiative aims to inspire creativity among youth, promote interest in philately, and showcase the ongoing value of postal services. Entries must be submitted through schools by October 1st, with winners to be announced later that month. Prizes include an iPad, Beats headphones, and a Casio G-Shock watch, with the winning stamp to be unveiled during November's International Postal Forum in Phillipsburg. Millions spent, yet roads still crumble and projects stall. Coming up, how one former politician is challenging leaders to prove that 15 years of self-rule were worth the price.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want the road.
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link?
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App, you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Good day and welcome back to NewsDesk. Today we take a closer look at a milestone on the horizon. 15 years since Sint Maarten gained country status within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Back in 2010, 10-10-10 was hailed as the start of a new chapter, filled with promise. But has autonomy really lived up to its potential? Former politician and commentator Julian Rolox Sr. has published a pointed critique, and an upcoming seminar at the University of St. Maarten aims to put these questions under the microscope. Here's Alston with our featured commentary. Autonomy at 15. Have we made the most of our freedom?
When St. Maarten stepped out as a separate country on October 10th, 2010, the expectations were high. Better infrastructure, stronger institutions, and a clear path to economic growth. Yet, in a recent commentary, former Commissioner Julian Rolox Sr. argues that those promises have largely gone unfulfilled. He points to almost 48 million guilders in salaries paid to members of parliament since 10-10-10, a hefty investment, he says, with little return for everyday citizens. Rolox highlights chronic problems, roads riddled with potholes, delays in hurricane recovery, and a still incomplete general hospital. He also notes that while teachers and civil servants have endured freezes and benefit cuts, lawmakers' pay remains untouched. And it's not just about money. Political instability has plagued the country. More than 10 governments in just 15 years, where only 4 full terms were constitutionally expected. Each turnover, Rolox writes, brings new priorities but few lasting solutions. The commentary challenges leaders to show results for the resources entrusted to them, whether through performance-based accountability, transparent spending, or a new social contract with voters. Those themes are set to take center stage at an upcoming seminar hosted by the University of St. Maarten, titled Democracy in Focus, 15 Years of Autonomy in St. Maarten. The event will bring together experts like Julio Romney, Dr. Nilda Arduin, and Dr. Wouter Veenendaal. Organizers say it's a chance to assess how autonomy has worked in practice. Has the island's governance matured? How well have democratic institutions served citizens? And where does St. Maarten fit within the wider kingdom framework? The discussion, open to the public on Friday, September 19, hopes to spark constructive debate, not just about what went wrong, but about how to chart a better course for the next 15 years. For many residents, the answers can't come soon enough. With infrastructure strained, public utilities under pressure and voter confidence eroding, the call is for a government that matches ambition with delivery. As Rolex concluded, if tens of millions can't buy progress, what exactly are we paying for?
That was Alston reporting on how St. Martin's 15 years of autonomy are being weighed and what might come next. If you'd like to be a part of the conversation, the seminar, Democracy in Focus, takes place at the University of St. Martin on September 19th, starting at 9 a.m. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Thank you for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday morning at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and then across all social media platforms. I'm Elsa Lawrence.
And I'm Jessiana Lassiter, wishing you an amazing day and evening. See you tomorrow.
Stay friendly, stay Martin.